Welcome to a very special episode of The Next Frame. Our special guest is actor and storyteller Lew Temple. He is known for Unstoppable, The Devil's Rejects, The Walking Dead, and much more. So grab a pen and take some notes, because you are about to take your next step with The Next Frame.
Nice to say hello. Thank you for having me today. I appreciate that. As you said, I'm Lew Temple. I'm an actor. I do write as well, screenplays, films. I've directed a little bit. Have produced. So I have a lot of different activities in the film industry, so to speak. But I call it storytelling because I think at the end of the day, if everything fell apart and the grid went down and the lights went out, we would build a campfire and we get all around the campfire and somebody would start out with Once Upon a Time and we would tell a story. And so I'm based in Los Angeles and I'm excited to be here with you. Thank you for having me. And also to be able to talk to your audience is made up of creatives, apparently not just in Wisconsin, but all over. So, but I like Wisconsin very much. I'm a big fan of Milwaukee. I like places like Racine, Beloit. So I know a little Wisconsin, Fond du Lac. And so I'm a Wisconsin supporter, and that you have a great number of creatives, I think is great.
Yeah, there's so much talent out here in Wisconsin, and if everybody networks and works together, learns off of one another, then that's what it's all about. It's all about networking to achieve your goals. So I'm very excited for you to take your time to give your advice out here today. You started off in the minor leagues in baseball and then transitioned into acting, correct?
Yeah, so I think we always start with in life, or we hope to, at least my way of thinking, is to have a passion, and my passion was baseball. So the first thing I'd offer to any of you is to think about your passion and what it is, and be very specific. What is your passion? Well, I actually like watercolors, or I like to read, or I like to draw, or just like to think and daydream. So my passion was baseball, and I played that with so much joy and delight. And it was all that I thought about, and I was entirely consumed as a child, starting at 8 years old, and then moving all the way through high school, and getting college scholarship, and going to college down in Florida to Rollins College to play college baseball, and then being drafted by the Seattle Mariners. And which took me to Wausau, Wisconsin, by the way. Awesome. And then working through baseball, becoming a coach and a scout, and then eventually a front office guy, and having entirely a career, never thinking twice about doing anything outside of my passion, which has always been baseball. And one day I followed a young lady into a building to maybe inquire as to her availability for a dinner, and it was a theater, and lo and behold, these folks that were rehearsing and working on their craft, which was acting, it just bit me, as the old saying goes. And I thought, well, those are my people. I could do that. Well, I couldn't. And then circumstances changed for me, and I rearranged my passion and pursued acting, went back to college, to Brooklyn College, to learn how to act, left baseball, and then went on to pursue acting on stage, primarily as a stage crafted actor in Houston, Texas, which would be known as a Midwest market, and never thought much about film and TV until it came around and presented itself. And then I started to become skilled enough to get some opportunities. And some of my first opportunity was a regional commercial for the Texas Lottery, and a director out of New York City who had a creative idea. Back when I started, it was kind of middle America was very conservative. And so a guy like me didn't really fit that mold, but this director from New York, Matthew Harrison, thought I was perfect for what he was looking for, and he cast me in a commercial. And shortly thereafter, the show Walker, Texas Ranger on CBS cast me, and I started to get the ball rolling. And my thing there is that you don't know how it's going to go. So don't get discouraged for what's not happening. Be encouraged by what is happening, and look for reasons to kind of build encouragement, and don't look for discouragement.
Train.
What does it look like the goddamn train is? It's not here, is it?
What are you doing?
Do I look like I got a train hidden in my back pocket? Bunny, get me Connie.
Behind us, jackass.
Yeah, it's Ned.
You get here too
Give
late.
me that shit. You know, you two numbnuts are always screwing up.
Our fault. You switched the track. You're supposed to get the train on the right track.
Connie, yeah, it's Ned.
Did you throw that switch yet?
Yeah, 6 minutes ago, but your train, it's not here. I thought it might be going a little slower than you guessed, but these two numbnuts that you sent, they just showed up, they ain't seen it either.
Throughout like all your roles that you've done, like Axel and Unstoppable, or anything else that you've done like throughout the decades, have you learned anything from those characters, like yourself, like just by portraying them by the script, or even adding something of your own? Like, have you learned anything from any of those characters you've done in the past, or do you feel like that you're learned in the future again as well?
I love that part. I actually love the preparation for a role much more than I enjoy the performance. So on the day that we film, I've already experienced this incredible journey of who this character is to become.
Sure.
And so I have learned from them about, I think, basic humanity and how they deal with their circumstances, and how people can deal with their circumstances. And I think then going back to that idea about who you are, it sort of solidifies the idea, well, I probably wouldn't have made that choice, but my character is making that choice. So I've got to figure out how that makes sense to me.
Sure.
And so that when I present it, it's honest, and somebody will buy it and say, yeah, I could totally see that guy as a welder, having a big ego, wanting to go stop a train all by himself, and then being a little overmatched in the situation, but continuing for whatever reason to go forward, because that's who he is, and always moving forward. So yeah, and so you learn about the ego, not just yours, but of your character. And many times, every time, your ego is bigger than your character's, because you're always protecting your character like a child. You're always protecting your art like a child. And if someone says, Derek, that's it's okay, you'll get better, and you're like, I've been doing this for 20 years. This is good. What the hell that hurts. And you're going to stand up for your art, whatever that is, with like a parent would their child. And as well you should. And then you realize, maybe it's not as good as I thought. Or maybe it's misunderstood. Maybe the simplicity of it isn't coming across the way my intention is offering. So I think you do learn a lot about what I've been experiencing, is that I'm trying to make most of the work that I do likable and charming, even if I'm portraying a despicable, undesirable type. Let's say a racist, for instance. I'm starting to understand that even that character was an innocent child at one point. What was the upbringing? Why is he a byproduct of what type of upbringing or society? You know, you start digging into, you know, the history of American society, and you see that this is how things were. Doesn't make them right, but it just makes you a product of your time. And I think you have to honor that as opposed to trying to rewrite it. So I try less to be, you know, mustache twirling, you know, villain, more of like, look, I'm just protecting my land. I'm protecting my rights. I'm protecting my heritage. I'm looking out for those that did this before me, you know, and to try to give it a little more reason and intention than we just need a villain in this movie. We just need a bad person. So those are lessons that I'm learning from the characters, and more than anything, to have an understanding, sort of compassion towards them in the situation. I'm always wondering, why would someone go out and kill somebody? You know, oh, I see. He's got, you know, rage issues, or he's got a problem. He was abused as a child, or, you know, whatever those might be. I try to learn from those.
Look, we had nothing to do with Tomas and Andrew, nothing. You trying to prove a point, you proved it, bro. We'll do whatever it takes to be part of your group.
There are rules. Life was more simple.
Didn't you miss your brother?
My brother? Hell no. He had a real money problem.
What kind of problem?
He didn't lend me any.
After like you're done performing, whatever, if it was a film or a show, do you generally keep in contact with your fellow actors and actresses, like even after the whole entire filming is complete?
I mean, typically, again, part of the experience is those relationships that you have and friendships you make on a film. Those are the best experiences, and those are way better than the paychecks. So for instance, a relationship or a friendship like I have with Vincent Ward is the gift that keeps on giving. And so we do maintain contact. We maintain friendship. We maintain fellowship, is not just as actors, but as people, as husbands, as fathers, as brothers in faith. And so we maintain a real relationship. And I find that I experience that quite often on set. Either I'm a very fortunate person to meet very nice people, or maybe I'm a nice person that people enjoy meeting as well. It all works, and I typically come out of it with a friendship. So yeah, I totally do. That being said, there's definitely a level of friendship that you have on the set that you don't maintain. When you're on set and you're working and the conditions are long hours and they might be very stressful conditions, you have a tendency to commune and get into this survival mode. So everybody's kind of in the same game. And then sometimes that is so severe that you just want to be away from it and you don't maintain that friendship or relationship. It can go both ways, but in general, I take away a friend or two from every production that I'm on.
Awesome.
You know, when you start being the experienced guy, if I can use that term, your place in the setting is to be the teacher, and often, in many cases, even the director or the producers have less experience than you. And so maybe you're there to help them not paint themselves into corners, or to give them a heads up. Hey, I've seen this happen before. It could go south on you. You might want to make an adjustment here. those things happen. But, I'm not there to tell anyone how to do something. I used to think I knew it all. And that's part of growing, and to experience that once you think you know it all, you've got a lot to learn. But you do tend to be sort of the guy like, oh, you've done so much, or I've seen you in so many things. Hey, could you tell me about, like, did you ever experience da-da-da and work stopped? And how did you deal with, like, not getting cast after it would just, and so I offer the same insight that, I'm offering you right now.
It looks like it got attacked by a wild animal.
What if it comes back?
Somebody needs to hike back and get some help.
Nearest human being 50 miles away.
Sun's setting. They will be back. They all will. You don't understand what's coming. You have no idea.
I'm scared. Me too. I don't want to die.
It lies dormant in the daytime, but at night, the virus wakes.
Did you have any final thoughts or anything else on your mind you'd like to say to Wisconsin filmmakers, creatives, about the field itself that you haven't said yet?
I want everyone to experience their best self, wherever that may be. It doesn't have to be in, there's a real idea that creatives are artists. And when I say artists, I mean in the sense of art, like painters or photographers but I think anyone that has the courage to make a plan and take massive action to enact that plan. For instance, let's say a gentleman wants to make a plumbing company like my father and puts it forth and sees it through and builds a reputable company that services the community. To me, that is an artist. That's an artist. That's a creative right there. That person created a thought, and that thought was manifested into a reality. And that's the truth. Mm-hmm. And that man or woman is just as creative as the person that wrote a song that's on the top 10, or that person that acted and won an Oscar, let's say. Mm-hmm. So don't dismiss the idea of creativity in any facet of life. And creating is literally the most beautiful thing that you've ever been given. As a child, that's your imagination. And man, you got imagination. You don't have to go to a gym to get it improved. You don't have to go to Target and get it. You don't have to. It's there. You just got to plug back into it and let life have life, and let your imagination have you. And I would offer, that thought in anything that you do, in any relationship that you have, in any place that you are. That's a great place to live and to grow. Great place to plant seeds is in those imaginations. And man, watch them grow. You will be blessed, I promise you.
I can't give you no more credit.
But I'll have what I owe you at noon.
Oh, you don't understand. It's Mr. Merrimack down at the bank. He cut off all credit. Hey, Beans! You know that there fella?
You get paranoid.
People like Tim deserve to die.
No, they don't.
You think it's right the way he treated people?
No. I don't condone his behavior. But what you did, that wasn't right either.
Thank you very much, Lew, for being part of our series, Next Frame, here at Chair on Stair Films. All your advice was phenomenal, and I can't wait for everybody to listen to it and take it to heart and achieve what they want to achieve in their creative fields.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Derek. I'm really proud to be part of the Next Frame series, and I hope that you continue to do as well as you're continuing to do. And I think swing big, because you might hit something and it should go a long way, just like you're doing. So keep doing the good work and keep enjoying it. Mainly enjoy it as you do every day.
Thank you, Lew. You take care. We'll see you again.
All right.